Alone, she wrote a book of poems. No one knows or cares, it seems, that some walk alone in silent echo of lost dreams, unrequited love they bemoan. Little things make up a day, a hand clasp and a smile, chatting with friends across the way, tearful in heart all the while. Little surprises lift and mend, a letter from a dear old friend, a glove thought lost is found, spiraling thoughts make no sound. A tender leaf, a bough of gray, a delicate snowflake adrift, like sweetness of posies that bloom in May, emotions must carefully shift. As a formation 2 by 2 with sunlight golden breast, great birds lift in flight anew, the soul too soars, seeking rest. Thoughts of grief that no one hears, teardrops quietly fall. Oh, but someone knows and lovingly cares. Our best friend, our God, our all. Written April 1962 by Ellen. She knows grief. She understands what it is to lose. And you know what she holds up? In the midst of that aloneness and that heartfelt ache, there's a hope. It's in our best friend Jesus. A hope that she held. One that she'd like to share. It's true. This life passes on. And death has never been our friend. It was never meant to be that way. God always intended for us to be able to live forever. So what do we do when we recognize that someone we love, yes, we don't want them to have to suffer the way that they're living in this world with all its pain and sickness and heartache and pain that a loved one goes through as they age. We don't want them to have to live in that. But we'd like them to live. How do we deal with it? When Jesus shared with his followers that he was going to leave, he gave them hope. Because even though it was a heartache for them to see him leave, he held out a message. John 14 says, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you so. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and take you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also." He wanted his disciples to know that there was hope. And for those he loved, he held out a hope that was eternal. I am the resurrection, the life. And though you may die, yet look, you will live. Jesus held himself out as the hope for eternity. It's the hope that we hold, isn't it? I don't want you to be ignorant, Paul says, like those who have no hope, but instead to know this, that the body, even though it decays, shall rise again in Jesus. That's the hope that we hold. At the graveside I shared, "Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trump shall sound, and the dead in Christ shall be raised incorruptible. Then this corruption shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality. And then shall come to pass the saying, O grave, where is thy sting? O death, where is thy victory? For death is swallowed up in victory." Jesus held out a hope. That hope was that he himself was resurrection from life, and that by joining to him, there was life everlasting. He came to give himself on the cross for a purpose, to buy us a place with him forever, a place where we could be with him. I don't know. Maybe he has a scrapbook page for each of us about our lives and all that's there. If so, they're not just records of the past. They're placeholders for the future, because he wants us there. He wants us there with all the things we've gone through. He understands the pain and the heartache. He understands the steps that have taken us where we are today, and he knows where he wants us to be ultimately, and that's with him. Revelation holds out a picture. It's a beautiful picture. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, descending from heaven like a bride made ready for her bridegroom. And I heard the voice of God say, "Behold, the tabernacle," that is the dwelling place of God, "is with man. And he shall be with them. And they shall be his people, and he himself shall be their God. And he will wipe away every tear from their eyes. And there will no longer be any pain or suffering or mourning or crying or death. For the former things have passed away. And behold, in him all things become new." A scrapbook, a placeholder for each of us in God's heart. He knows what you've gone through. It's recorded here and here. All the struggles and all the pains. And whenever he looks, he remembers you and has a place for you in his arms. We look forward to the day when we can join with Ellen around the throne.